there's a lot of good stories in the OFA. Had a lot of interesting meetings, most of which happen in the hospitality room after the meetings are over, and what they may call the after party in the hospitality suite. As far as stories go, we mentioned it today in the meeting that the organization pays for the president to have a room at the meeting, and back in the day when they paid for the president, that also included my dad, Don Hendricks, Marv Rogie, and some others that would share the room. All these older members of the association, several of them would share the room, share the cost of the room, because it's expensive when you're a self-employed businessman like most of us are in this organization.
Especially during COVID, we really didn't see each other very often. So it was great. Our first meeting after COVID, which was at SMU at Air Law, just great seeing everybody and catching up.
Well, I have to say, I think everybody here is very positive and in good spirits. I'm brand new, literally got approved this morning to become a member of OFA. And it's funny that in 39.5 years in the publishing business, this is just not one that was on our radar. We've been to a lot of conferences, AOPA fly-ins, EAA things, and this one was not really on our radar. So I'm really glad that I discovered it, because there's some great people, and not only is OFA helping me to become the inspector I want to be, but I think In-Flight USA and BizAv Jets can help OFA and the members within it.
I'll do an early story for this one. Jack Arnold, who is going to be sworn in tonight as president. When I first met Jack, he was 18. He's now 31. And at that point in time, it was in Fredericksburg. It was the same meeting that I was just discussing. And I actually ended up being the first girl he ever danced with. So it turned out to be an amazing meeting where we were dancing on the boot scoot boogie kind of stuff at Fredericksburg, and we had such an enjoyable time. And he has turned out to be not only an amazing dancer, but an amazing young man, and I'm really looking forward to his tenure as president.
Favorite stories. So the OFA does a mid-year gathering down at SMU Law Conference down in Dallas, and they also do their annual conferences. They go all around, and I would say that some of the more enjoyable conferences are where some of the sponsors actually highlight their own facilities. I remember going to Dodson International at one, and that was a fabulous show, and it's just
I think one of my favorite stories about being in the OFA is I received a phone call once about a claim. Somebody had gotten a hold of my CV online and saw that I was an Airbus pilot. And they asked me if I had experience with Airbuses, and I said yes. And they said, perfect, we have a claim for you. It's the radar array on a Navy destroyer. And I said, okay, well, what does flying Airbuses have to do with that? And the short story is that they just, that radar was made by Airbus and Airbus Industries, and they needed somebody with the word Airbus on their CV. It was as simple as that. That being said, those are the types of opportunities the OFA has given me over the years as advertising myself, my services, and the network opportunities it has. Of course, the camaraderie and the family atmosphere of the OFA is really my favorite part about it. We have 2 meetings a year, and a lot of times there are people in between those meetings that I won't see or have any communication with, and show up at this meeting, and we just start right where we left off. It's a great organization and very tight-knit.
OFA, yes, we've worked on a number of claims. We recently had one that was very, very challenging. a very well organized, very well funded, very well trained Seaplane company up in the New York area was doing flights in and out of the New York harbor. And that particular day, the folks that were on the loading dock or on the dock where the airplanes were eventually tied up wasn't available. And a fairly good sized seaplane came in there with, with passengers on board. And the pilots were very skilled, had a lot of flight time. As they approached the dock, they shut the engine down, which was a smart move. Unfortunately, one of the ferry boats went flying by and created a lot of waves, which beat up the airplane pretty badly. It was fun to work with those people because they really knew what they were doing. They really maintained their airplanes. We got the airplane fixed and back in business. And since then, even though they're based in New York, they opened up an operation in the Washington D.C. area, so you can get a flight now on a seaplane from there up to Boston, actually, all the way up to Boston, and have a lobster.
So happy ending.
Oh, yeah.
It's just an incredibly nice group of guys with a huge wealth of knowledge. It's nice that we've got 2 meetings a year that everybody gets to see each other, maintain relationships, and
the first thing I think that's important to understand about the OFA is it really is a family.
Yeah.
The OFA is very clearly a family. If you look around, generally people only leave this organization when they die. Lately we've had some people go emeritus, but normally they just work. The nice thing about adjusting is you can do as little or as much as you want. And, our people stay around for forever. Even the emeritus people come back. I mean, Marty is 88, going on 89, I think. And he just now went emeritus, which is pretty amazing. And again, it's a family organization. His son Keith, the former president of the OFA, also. So that's the most important thing to me about the OFA is that it is a family organization. The people take care of the people here, and I don't think that there's any other professional organization that I belong to that's been as valuable to our company at getting the word out about who we are and where we are, at the same time that I enjoy the meetings. I truly enjoy being here.